Hey everyone, and welcome to the X86 guy, and today I'm going to introduce you to my new computer. I've named her Bubbles, mainly because of the LED light strips on the side, the bubble plastic, so I figured Bubbles was a good name, and maybe I might have been drinking when I came up with that name, I don't know, but Bubbles sticks. But anyway, this is Bubbles. She has a dual-core Pentium 4 CPU, clocked at 2.8 gigahertz. It's a really nice speed for a Pentium 4, so I absolutely am happy with this. And a lot of people might say, didn't I just do a video about why I don't collect retro tech? And that, for the most part, still stands, but this computer was too good of a deal to pass up because one of my neighbors had it and it was just going to go in the trash, and I said, well, I'll take it, and it was free. So now, as far as specs goes, when I got it, it had a Sound Blaster Live 24-bit in it, and that's the sound card I'm using right now. It had this weird, actually, it's right here, this weird D-Link wireless networking code in it. It's an Air plus Extreme G. And the reason why I'm calling it weird is I think it's messed up because the computer doesn't boot or behave if it does boot with this code plugged in. So I think it's completely messed up. I know that the antenna's broken, but it still should have booted with it in it. But so I took it out. I don't plan on doing much networking anyway. If I do plan on doing wireless networking, I've got a better code out in my storage that's brand new, never been opened, so I'll put that one in it instead of this one. This one I'm probably just going to throw away. It did also have two hard drives in it, a 40 gigabyte and a 100 gigabyte hard drive, and they worked for a while. I'll get into that in a second. And it's also got an NVIDIA GeForce FX 5900X. It's a 128 megabyte GPU, so it was quite respectable for its day. Did some maintenance on it too, like I repasted the CPU because it needed it. It was dry. When I took the cooler off, the CPU was stuck to the cooler, and the retention on was still down, so it just took the CPU right out of it with the retention on down. Didn't damage it, thank God, but yeah. And then I also repasted the GPU as well. So it's got new thermal paste. It was cleaned out. I plugged the drives back in, and initially I installed both Windows 98 on the 40 gigabyte hard drive, and on the 100 gigabyte hard drive I of course installed Windows XP Professional. And I got everything set up, and I was using it for a couple days, and then on the third day, the 100 gigabyte hard drive just blew. It just suddenly stopped responding, and then the system wouldn't boot with it plugged in. Okay, so I got both drives plugged in. I turn it on right here. Excuse the mess on the desk. I've been working on this for a while. And it doesn't boot. So we'll just go ahead and enter into the setup. Okay, here we are in the setup, drive configuration. As you can see, it's not detecting any of the drives except for that except for the DVD drive. Everything else isn't being detected. But now I go ahead and just disconnect this 100 gigabyte hard drive right here and turn it on. And we get a boot. It detects that drive. So I think that 100 gigabyte hard drive is dead. Of course, Windows XP is not going to boot because that's 100 gigabyte was where that was. But what does boot is, of course, Windows 98. And the weird thing is, that was the newer drive in it, and it went first. I don't know. But, of course, I would rather the 40 gigabyte hard drive blow than the 100 gigabyte, but Bubbles had other plans. Right now it's only got a 40 gigabyte hard drive, so I couldn't exactly dual boot with it, so I had to pick one operating system or the other. And of course I picked Windows XP because I wanted to be able to do new stuff. I do plan on putting another hard drive in, and I would have, except I have only hard drives like this, and the SATA. So, which is fine. The motherboard in Bubbles supports SATA, but the power supply doesn't. So there's no way to power the drive unless I get an adapter or a new power supply. So I do actually plan on putting this 500 gigabyte hard drive in here as soon as I get the power sorted for it. And what I'll probably do is just dual boot Windows XP and 98 off of this drive. Leave the 40 gigabyte hard drive in there. I'll use it for something like, I think I'll put my ISO images on there just so I can have them on a separate drive and not have to keep plugging in my external hard drive. But so we've got that. That's probably going in Bubbles soon. And also, I had this CD drive right here died in rather spectacular fashion, and there was a casualty. That is my copy of The Next Tetris, and quite honestly, that was a CD that I had in my childhood. It's right here in this baggie. It completely shattered it. I just heard a big thump and it stopped responding. And I autopsied the drive and got all the pieces out of it. I kind of am mad about that because, CD from my childhood, and it was a good CD. It didn't deserve to die like that, man. So I did autopsy the drive, and what happened was the track system got messed up in it. So, I've got it still in its case, but it's disconnected. It doesn't work. That is dead. I do plan on replacing that. So what are my plans for this? For one, put this hard drive in it. Once I get the power sorted, that's going in it. I do plan on replacing that drive, but for right now, my external USB hard drive is just fine. I do have front-facing USB ports on the bottom, so I can just plug it right in. I can get optical media in there, and that drive is reliable. It works. I've never had an issue with it. Of course, I do plan on using the floppy drive in it too, because it's a 3.5-inch floppy. I do plan on trying to add a 5.25-inch floppy in here as well, like a 1.4 meg drive in there or something like that. 1.2 meg, whatever those 5.5-inch floppies are. And I just plan on messing around with it with games and stuff because it's fun and enjoyable. I also at some point plan on replacing that sound card maybe. The Sound Blaster Live 24-bit is a decent card, but it's not really one that's sought after because I did get to play around with it in Windows 98 for a little bit, but it doesn't have the features that a lot of retro gamers are looking for, and including me, because I wanted to do DOS stuff, and the DOS support is rather spotty. It does the digitalized Sound Blaster effects, and it does general MIDI if you're doing it in a Windows prompt, which is fine, because that's all I was doing. But AdLib and FM Synth just isn't on that code. It doesn't do it. It doesn't try to emulate it. You just get nothing. So I kind of want to replace that with something that's going to have AdLib support. Something like a Aopen Cobra, because I like those codes. I used to have one in one of my old systems, which I accidentally gave away that code when I gave away the system. So yeah, I wish I still had that code because it was a really, really good code. Or something like a Sound Blaster Live PCI 128 that will have that ad-lib and FM synth emulation on it. But for right now, it's a great sound code for Windows XP. It supports everything you want, and it's got a real cool sound fonts system, so they can load in sound fonts into the bank. It's really, really cool, actually. Maybe I'll go over that sound code and its abilities in another video, but it's a really cool sound code for Windows XP, not so much for Windows 98. I'll probably be replacing it at some point. But other than that, I just plan on messing around with it. Once I get Windows 98 on it, I'll want to do Windows 98 things with it. I do plan on trying to get a general capture solution for this computer so I can make videos for Bubbles. But right now I don't have a capture code that really works well with it. I do have a Dazzle HD, but I tried it and it didn't work that well because it's S video, it doesn't support the resolutions I want. It's not a good fit. So I'm going to have to figure something out. Other than that, I just plan on messing around with it. So you'll definitely be seeing this computer in the channel every once in a while. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for this video. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.